So good morning, everybody. Looks like we are live. Also, I'm just noticing that my voice is still a little bit hoarse. Good morning, Pac-Man. Good morning. Hey, Neil K. I just read your messages on the forums, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you're here. So, by the way, guys, uh, I'm kind of excited about Sub-Zero here. Sub-Zero has been um, an amazing contributor to the hyperspin scene for an incredible amount of time. I mean, he's like royalty over there, and he just started wanting to work with us as well. So that's extremely exciting. He's working on right now. He just messaged me. He's been working on creating a theme based on boxes. You know, like the original boxes. So as you can imagine, we've got some really cool stuff coming from him, and I'm super excited because it's going to be gorgeous. So, yeah, good stuff. Morning, Dave. Cool. Yeah, I just read your messages too and got back to you on the forums. Hey, Phil, Neo, Godsend. I am having a good day, Godsend. Thank you. I hope you are too, and everybody else. Hey, Double O, Scott, Camel Spit, what's up? Pure luck. Morning, humanoid. So yeah, we got exciting stuff coming, guys. Super exciting stuff. Hey, Sid. Good morning, Sid. Or I don't even know what time is it over there for you, Sid. It's probably not the morning. uh, you know what, Camel? Believe it or not, I have caught up just this morning. After I woke up, I caught up with all my messages on the forums. But no, I have not seen the rest of the forum stuff. I've got 32 things to catch up on the forums right now. So no, I don't know what you're talking about. I took a break this weekend for the most part, and I was not on the forums very much. 6:33 p.m. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sub-Zero is a master artist creator. Yes, he is. Absolutely. He's done some awesome stuff. All right. Sign up plugin has been uploaded to the download section. Yay! That was a good idea, Dave. I really like that idea. The other thing, guys, that I am so excited about right now, and I don't think anybody knows about this yet, but get ready for this, okay? This is big news, I think. And I never thought about this. All right, I'm going to build this up a little bit because I'm a little bit excited about it. So bear with me here. I never thought about building this as a plugin. But Underwood NC is building, and from what I understand, it's mostly completed. He has built a plugin so that you can right click on a game in LaunchBox and for the most part automatically upload it straight to the game's database without having to manually enter a bunch of stuff. So if you've manually entered a game into your LaunchBox, then you can go, and it is one by one because we don't want people just mass uploading garbage data because everything still has to go through the moderation process. But this is a huge step forward, guys. It really is. is he's created this plugin that will automatically, it'll streamline the process of automatically uploading things to the LaunchBox Games database. Whoa. That has me pretty excited. So I'm pumped about that. Really, really pumped. Sure, absolutely, Camel. I will take a look. Hey, Neil 9000. Drummel. Chris Castaldi. I have so many DOS games that need to be uploaded. Yes. Yes. We got to get this stuff up there, man. And then also, if you guys are doing a lot of uploads and such, do remember that we have to get this stuff moderated. So, no, not if you're doing a bunch of uploads, but anybody who wants to go and be a good moderator, that is so much appreciated because the moderation is incredibly important as well. Otherwise, nothing will ever get approved. Yeah, and I heard that you had that out, Neil, which is, oh, that's cool. That's very cool. So Neil is working on a Steam importer which will let you choose games, and from what I understand, it tries to guess what's installed as well, which has been a request for about 10,000 years. So I'm pretty excited. Well, you guys can see why I'm continuing to focus on plugins, because the stuff. I mean, every time I turn around, there's something new and revolutionary that's coming in from the community. Some of the stuff has been requested for many years, many years. I mean, it's only been LaunchBox has only been a thing for 3.5 years, but some of the stuff has been requested for a very long time, and then other stuff is like, whoa, where did that come from? And I never knew you never knew you needed it, and it's here, so it's amazing. So obviously, plugins are definitely the next big step for us, and they're already here. It's really cool. I'm excited. If it can mass upload, it will be even better. And unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be possible, because if you think about it, like, you know how people work. People are just going to mass upload a bunch of garbage data, and I think he's planning on putting in a bunch of checks to make sure that the system doesn't get abused. Because if the system gets abused, you know what's going to happen. The moderators are all going to get pissed off, because it's just a bunch of crap being submitted, and then the quality of everything just starts to go down the crapper. So we really have to be careful to make sure that, I mean, and if we did add some bulk upload or bulk utilities, we'd have to make 100% sure that it was only enabled for people who are really going to painstakingly go through the entire collection and make sure that everything is uploaded is accurate. That's the problem. There's no way that we can allow something like this for everybody to just bulk upload their entire collections. And originally, I had hoped to do that with some sort of crowd comparison type utility stuff. And that's still feasible. That's still possible. And who knows? Maybe Scott could do something like that. But it's going to need a lot more really important and complicated logic in there to try and make sure that everything is consistent and good. Not a bad thing at all. Thank you, Alex. Any updates on manuals? Not currently. It was on the poll, and it did get it. I think it did get a decent number of votes, so we will be implementing it. But it's not an immediate priority, so it'll probably happen in the next 2-3 months, something like that. Me too, Camel. Yeah, definitely retro. Steam foo. Awesome. Thank you, Phil. Very, very cool. You know what, Phil? The other thing is, and maybe you message, maybe you've been talking to me on the forums. I'm not sure, um, but I would love to be able to support that via. And I don't know. I haven't seen the new version yet, but I would love to support it via like an automatic, you know, bubble pop up or something like that. You know, so I don't know what you got, but let me know what you still need, and I'll make sure that I have it in there for you. Yeah, you need a slush database to hold a low quality data, of course, and that would be the plan, Neil K. Yeah, that was my original plan. Way back, I don't know, like a year ago when I first started, right after we first built the LaunchBox Games database, and I first started like talking to you guys via video in the community and all that stuff. Maybe it was 2 years ago now. I don't even know. But right when I started doing that, I really got into the games database and really started thinking and wanted to be able to basically take everybody's data, everybody who was willing to offer it, and upload it all into a big trash database and compare every single field, figure out what the most common and typical values were, and assume those to be the best values, and use those to build a database. Unfortunately, though, there's a lot of complicated stuff in that, and people weren't as excited about that as I thought, so I didn't get to focus on it, and so I ended up moving on and not doing that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of really neat stuff that could be done with that. So I think once Scott has this stuff uploaded, it would be good. Well, I say Scott because that's his real name. I should be careful. His actual name is under, what is his screen name? Underwood, NC. Underwood, North Carolina. Volk Nut. Gladly help to expand the DB with the plugin. By the way, just noticed that Pokemon is written with an E. Yeah, as I couldn't match my NDS games with LaunchBox and realized because the E. Yeah, that's been a problem for ages, and we go back and forth on that because I need to fix that stuff. It's supposed to be. Yeah, it's hard. I really need to do something better with that. That's been a problem for a long time. Pure luck. You found 2 bugs. Yeah, hit us up in the beta testing thread if you're finding bugs, if you would. Unless, yeah, because I'm not going to be addressing bugs right now. I want to keep working on adding new stuff for the plugins in this stream. But thank you, Pure Luck. Hit me up in the beta testing thread. Currently pops a form on startup. Well, beautiful. That works really, really well. The only thing better than that would be to use some sort of bubble pop up in the bottom right hand of the screen so that you don't have to click it away, but it just shows up. Something like that would be really neat. But that's awesome. Which VR headset do I have? Believe it or not, I don't have one right now. I want to get into VR, but I've sort of wanted to wait on it till it got a little bit more mature. Although I know it's probably mature enough for me to do it now. I just haven't spent. The thing is, if I'm gonna do it, I'm not the kind of guy that gets into anything without getting the best. And I haven't decided to take the plunge and spend the thousands of dollars to get the best solution out there. I'm kind of too much obsessed with getting the best solution for whatever I'm doing. So that costs a lot of money, and for that reason, I haven't gotten into it yet. But I will soon. Can't get it to auto-generate an Assassin's Creed playlist. Huh. Apostrophe? I don't think it's the apostrophe, but who knows? We can test. Hey, Stivolus. Yeah, Camel, I agree. That'd be really cool. Pure Luck, yes, that is correct. And I'm aware of that, and that's on my short list about the platform category, attract mode not going back to the platform category to choose a different one. Nice, that's amazing. Getting a database for each system is important with the correct guidelines. Not 100% following you there, Double O, but yeah, I don't know what you mean exactly. VR is very expensive, and I'm not one to do the cheapo Google Glasses crap because I'm not going to have a good experience, and I'm just not going to want to do it. Yeah, dude. Man, if you can, the thing is, if you can upload your source code, you're willing to, that's huge because then everybody else can look at it, you know, and learn from it. Can plugins be mapped to a key controller button? No, not yet. Um, and that is a great idea. Let's add that to the list. I assume you mean in big box primarily there. Spend too much time at LaunchBox anyhow for the money it would cost. Yeah, that's the thing. That's always the thing. I play too many retro games right now, so it's kind of meh. I'm not that excited about it. Will I ever get another arcade machine? I'll tell you what. Yeah, I will. I will. And one of the issues um, I've been having is I wanted to get basically the same bar top that I already had, but legally it's a challenge to do that because once you recreate the exact same artwork on two different cabinets, there's laws that get in the way because we're using characters that we don't have the copyright for, and this is all coming from Monster Arcades. So I keep going to Monster and trying to get my bar top replicated, but we got to get them some different artwork, which breaks my heart because I absolutely love the artwork that Neil Richmond built for us, and I don't want anything else, you know. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I honestly I don't know, um, because I want that artwork. So that's been the struggle there, honestly. So I've been frustrated on that because I just want the same one that I already had, and I didn't know that I wouldn't be able to get it with the same artwork again. The other thing that's exciting though is I'm not sure if you guys realized, but Rec Room Masters came out with a new controller. Actually, I'll show it because they're actually sending me a free one, and I'm really excited about it because it's going to be awesome. So they have the where is it? The Emulator Edition Plus. They just came out with on my full size arcade cabinet right now. I have the extension Emulator Edition, but now they're coming out with the Emulator Edition Plus, which has a whole bunch of extra stuff here, which is really exciting. You've got the spinner. You've got. I think this is a four-way joystick instead of an eight-way. So it's actually really, really, really cool, and they are sending one to me for free. And I'm really excited to get in my cabinet and play with it. And I'm going to be doing a video review of that at some point, because and actually I really, really love my favorite part of my cabinet right now is my Emulator Edition controller. There's nothing better than that controller. It really isn't. So I'm excited about that. Thank you, Pure Luck. Bubble pop-up would be awesome. Displaying a form does have its issues, specifically with the Z-axis, but LaunchBox doesn't have focus, which happens sometimes on a startup. Yeah, I hate that crap, man. I really hate that. I wish Windows did a better job of that, and I wish I had a way to prevent those issues from happening, but I really don't. The only way that I know how to fix that problem is to not have the child pop-ups come up on screen, like the welcome screen. And I've been wanting to revamp like the welcome screen and stuff like that for about 3 years now, you know. So you can do it, Neil K. You can do it. The Game Chasers took that arcade cabinet and ran? No. What do you mean took it and ran? Billy's got it in his house, and he's actually done some awesome things for us with it. There's been multiple videos of him with his cab, and he's got more coming actually. He's been very, very good to us, extremely good to us. Also, not to mention, anytime Wood goes to the U.S., he stays with Billy, and they have a great time together on that cabinet. So no, they did not take that cabinet and run at all. And it was a gift. So it was literally a gift. I gave it to them. I did not expect anything in return for that cabinet. So okay, Volknut, if I want to regroup the games I'm currently playing in a list, as I have tendencies to lose myself if I don't focus on a few games, I have to use the series tool. You can create a playlist for that. Would be a good idea, actually. Probably a playlist might work best for that. But there's a million ways to do it, so whatever works best for you. Pure Luck, man, talk to me. If you want to build me an arcade cabinet, I would be very, very interested in that. So yeah, yeah, talk to me. I mean, I'd even be willing to hit you up with some cash for it if it was what I was looking for and what I wanted. A little pricey, yeah, maybe, but you compare this to the trust me, if you use one of these things and you compare it to what is the common one that you get, the most popular ones are the I can't even remember what the stupid name of them is. They suck in comparison to this. Like, mostly, primarily, just because they're missing so many buttons, and it's just annoying to use them because they're so overly simplified. These extension controllers have like every button you could ever need. You see all these buttons up here? There is 10 buttons that are not gameplay buttons. They're just buttons to help get you around and navigate. And there's nothing more useful than that, I'll tell you that. That's why this is worth it, right there. And as neat as the HAP stuff is, I would rather have separate dedicated joysticks, honestly. Which is one thing that really excites me about this stuff. But yeah, having the 360 stick would be nice too. I'll give you that. Being able to play Star Wars, that would be really neat. $25 in 2004. For what, Dave? Auto playlists need title does not contain. Okay? Sure. Dude, if you've built them before, oh man, yeah, PM me, my friend. if you I mean, who's gonna say no to that? If you really want to build me a cabinet, brother, You know, I am going to accept the offer. Absolutely. Hey, Caleb. Sure, I'll talk. I'll talk to you, Pure Luck. I'll talk to you. Yeah, you know what, K Money? I haven't found any um, buttons that I really like that are light up either. That was an issue. You guys think you'll ever make a VR version of LaunchBox Big Box? Um, I have wanted to, and that was one of the things on the latest poll. And you know, the funny thing is, I expected that to be like the top voted thing, and it was like the bottom, like literally the bottom of the barrel, which really surprised me. If we load up this poll, and maybe you guys can tell me why. Okay, this is Survey Monkey. Hopefully, oh come on. My password there it is stupid long. My password that holds all my passwords, and sometimes I gotta type it 3 times. All right, so uh, analyze. So look, LaunchBox Arcade VR. it's like 11% of the people voted for that one. So I was honestly I was pretty disappointed in that. Um, so yeah, I mean, you guys tell me, why did that only get 11% of the votes? Chris, oh, you'd make me a happy man. That'd be really neat if you built a VR plugin. That would be incredible. Hey, Marcus, focus on feel and not flashy lights. Hey, Ahmed from Iraq. Shipping would be expensive since you're in Canada. Sure. Well, Pure Luck, if you're really if you're talented at building an arcade cab, and you really want to do it, you know, I'm not against dropping some funds on it, to be honest. You guys, part of the reason, also the VR stuff. Uh, be careful because it's silly to say I hope there won't be a VR version because very few people have a VR headset. The software will work even without a VR headset. That's not the point. The point is to have an immersive experience, and it will work on a monitor just as well as it'll work in a VR headset. It's just going to be, you know, traditional WASD mouse controls instead. Hey, Slash Guns. Yeah, I fear luck. I'm in Canada. Send me one. Yeah, it was all one password, DJ Blades. Yeah, I'll charge you for it, though, Stiflis. Text to speech. Poor Quad. Poor Quad. Yeah, text to speech is on the very freaking bottom of the poll. That was another thing that surprised me a little. The Stiflis. There you go again with the ZX Spectrum version. You can do it without a plugin if you use big screen. I need to look at that. By VR, you don't mean requiring a VR headset, but like VR, like full 3D walk around like Anarchy Arcade, the old front end 3D arcade emulation. And what I mean is the type of experience that you get with Retro Arcade Neon. I have never played with Anarchy Arcade, but I have played with Retro Arcade Neon. And yes, the point to me would be a virtualized arcade with you know, with just walking around, walking up to an arcade cabinet and playing a game. Yeah, that's what I have in mind. Am I talented enough to do that by myself? No, I'm not. I'm not a 3D artist. I'm not even a 3D programmer. Um, but if the entire community was um, into it, excited about it, I would be an idiot not to do it. If that makes sense. I would hire out the talent and get it done, and make some financial sacrifices and everything else, because we can't fall behind the times, you know. Um, so that is the thing there. However, based on these latest poll results, it's very clear to me that that's not what the priority needs to be right now. I should, however, have made more clear that it would not require a VR headset to use it. Does LaunchBox do full-on 3D boxes such as, say, WeFlow? It doesn't right now, actually, and that was actually all also on this poll, and also was not voted very high. We have, um, or maybe it was on the last poll. Yeah, apparently it was on the last poll instead, and it didn't get very many votes there. So we shelved it for the moment. Smurfy, have you considered doing a cover flow setup with full-on 3D boxes as Wii Flow on the Wii? Yeah, that's basically what we just talked about. And yes, I have considered that. And it was on the last poll to vote on, and surprisingly few people voted for it, so I have not focused on it yet. Thank you, Ahmed. Yeah, it's really the only way to do it these days, Camel Spit. The randomized passwords. I did the whole modded Wii thing recently, actually, and was a little bit disappointed in it. But at the same time, it does have some really awesome features. It's just missing some polish that drove me a little bit crazy. Me too, Quad. I am surprised that came in last, especially. LaunchBox 3D VR interface. That's a good idea, Chris. Absolutely. Although I'm telling you, if you are capable, willing, and interested in building something like that, or any kind of VR experience, we will. Holy crap! If you whatever you come up with, if it's quality, we will shout it from the rooftops, because that would be amazing, absolutely amazing. Because you guys know we are all about like boosting up everybody in the community doing awesome stuff, and that would be the awesome stuff for the I don't know, the week, the month, the year, who knows. James is trying to reach me on. Since when? Since when did my team learn how to reach me by screaming at me somehow during these live streams? Goodness. I put myself on on away during the live streams. I'm gonna have to just exit so that James doesn't bark at me. That Chris, oh, talk to me, Chris. Talk to me. PM me, because yeah, that's super super exciting. Hey Duke, RetroArch Net Play and achievement integration would be so cool, and that is on the list, and it will come. Yep, we're definitely gonna do that. Better disk drive support should be a thing. Yeah, I agree. It should. You're right. Um, and that's one of those things that we're just gonna have to do. If I put that, the funny thing is the little tiny quirky stuff like that for better support for emulation. If I put that on the poll for people to vote on, it wouldn't get any votes, because the vast majority of people have no idea what that even is. So, but it's stuff like that is still very important, and I recognize that. So, yeah, we will focus on that. Anyways, I'm finally caught up on comments here. So we will dive into some actual development here very, very soon, which obviously this is the point of these streams. Text to voice would be great. Need to start voting. Where do you think LaunchBox will be in 2 years? You guys tell me. I don't know where LaunchBox is going to be in 2 years. You guys are my vision. Okay? I I develop I am not visionary. I develop. And that is why I need you guys so badly, because you guys define what it's going to be. I'm good at building the product and good at designing, hopefully good at designing things so that it works well for everybody, and making sure that it's easy to use and consistent and all that stuff. Although, I'm not perfect with that, but the ideas really truly all come from you guys. So you tell me where we're going to be in 2 years. That's why we do a poll every few months. It's important. You guys define where we're going to be in 2 years, not me. Neil K, the best advice in the world for Git is to use source tree from Atlassian. The best. That's by far, absolutely by far the best client for Git, and you never have to type another command again. It's huge. LaunchBox server with all your games playable from online. You know what? I had that idea way early on with the games database, like right after it was built, and nobody wanted it. So, yeah, I'm with you, but I don't know if that's going to happen. In 2 years, it'll be 2019. LaunchBox will become Skynet. Well, there you go, Wade. I need your help, man. Visionary Wade. I did, but the very first version of LaunchBox was DOSBox only. It was just a bunch of boxes on a shelf. You double click on it, it launches in DOSBox. That's it. And I'm very glad I had that vision, and I had that vision because it was something I personally wanted. And ever since then, I have had great ideas, don't get me wrong, but the majority of the ideas have all come from you guys. Will be responsible for the enslavement of the human race. 10 years that all console manufacturers will use it for their UIs. Yeah, that would be awesome, but yeah, right. Can source tree handle submodules? I don't really know, honestly, Neil. I don't know what a submodule is, to be completely honest with you. Never know what tomorrow brings. Amen to that. We never prayed, guys. We never prayed. Someone else gave me the idea to add emulators. Yes, that came from the community. That was on. That was a forum post on the DOSBox forums. Not even kidding. Anyways, guys, let's pray. Lord, thank you for this community, and thank you for everybody here. And just be with us all today. Help us to all continue to enjoy each other's presence, and just have a great time this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever it is. And I pray that you would be with me in my development today. Help me to build the important stuff. Help me to be productive. Help me to have a great week this week and come up with some really, really helpful stuff for the plugin developers. I pray that you would keep working in the community and help make amazing things happen, just as much or more than they already are, Lord. Thank you for everybody here, and thank you for everybody in this community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Financing for the Vive. That's cool. Steam achievements. Nice. Retro achievement. Yeah, of course. Yep. Oh, Keltoy. Yes, absolutely. Liver failure. I'm sorry, Kelto. Yeah. Lord, um, we know that you can heal. And we know that uh, you know how much we love our family members. And I pray that you would be with Keltoy and be with his grandfather as they go through this tough time. And I pray that you would work on his grandfather and help him with his issue. Heal him, Lord. I'm not sure if he needs a liver replacement. I'm not sure what exactly he needs. I don't know if he just needs his liver healed, Lord. But I pray that you would just be there in that situation and help solve this problem. Not just help solve this problem, Lord. Solve this problem. Um, keep his grandfather as alive and functional and able to be with Keltoy as long as possible. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm going to develop a plugin to zap Stifilus every time he calls it LaunchBox. I secretly, every time I read LaunchBox, I cringe and I die a little bit inside. I really do. But I also die inside secretly anytime somebody writes LaunchBox without a capital B. And anytime I go to our dumb Facebook page and I see LaunchBox without the capital B because Facebook is stupid and they refuse to let me use the proper name. Ah! So, yeah, I'm just a little bit anal retentive. Absolutely, Keltoy. Thank you, Caleb. Yeah, you know, yeah, I can't. I don't know. I couldn't do any of this without the Lord's help. I really couldn't. So, um, and I'm a screw up, and I'm always doing stuff that is, not good. You know, I've I'm not a good Christian, man. I'm really not. But nobody is. That's the thing, and that's why we need Jesus. Hey, Slip System. Just a little. That's okay. Thank you, Proshi. Yep. Agreed, man. How's about typing Launchbox? I would rather see that than Lunchbox. Lunchbox plugin like plugin had one in the first grade. Yeah, I don't know why. It just gets me. But Lunchbox is my favorite front end. Sheever from the Dota community. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Lord, Foxy just shared with us that Sheever from the Dota community has breast cancer, and we know that you can heal her as well. So we pray for her healing this morning. And we pray that you would be with all breast cancer sufferers and survivors, and pray that you would help them all to get past it and not be, negatively affected by it for a significant length of time. Lord, you would just heal them, help them to get through it, help it to bring them closer to their families, to their friends, closer to you, and show them incredible amounts of love. Show them how much their family loves them, how much their friends love them, um, and especially Sheever. Lord, in Jesus' name, amen. God does not expect us to be perfect. Praise the Lord for that. Send a link to the poll. It is not Latin, but the poll is over for right now. So I think you can actually vote, maybe still, but I mean, we're done. We're done taking in the results. Sub-Zero Man. Oh, dude, I just went over your stuff on the stream earlier, actually, which is really, I'm really glad you showed up. We were talking about your awesome stuff you got going on. I'm not sure we saw my response yet, but I am super excited about that theme. So yeah, cool stuff. I think it's about time for us to get in development. Yes, it is. It is having. It is awesome having some Sub-Zero art in LaunchBox. You did. Whoa, dude, that's beautiful. I'm reading here. Give me a second, guys. New universal theme for the more basic and elegant look for the front end's theme. Wow. I was basically what I set up above is that we want to feature him this week, feature Sub-Zero this week in the video for the news and all that stuff. And yeah, we're gonna basically we build the news video. Wood usually builds the news video on Friday, so you got all week Sub-Zero for that, and I build the email, and Kirsten actually writes the email on Friday as well usually, and I send it out on Saturday. So yeah, you got basically till the end of the week before we do that. Dang, that is beautiful. Wow. Oh, I love that. Nice. Yes. Yes. Oh, man. You are so awesome, Ron. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm really looking forward to all this stuff. Yes, it does. So, can I press a little bit, Sub-Zero? What does that mean exactly that you've made the move? Because it excites me to know that you're going to be using Launchbox and Big Box at all. But what do you mean by what do you mean when you say you've made the move? Yeah, no pressure. You have 4 days. Proshi, the one area where you could do some awesome stuff is with fan art, if that makes sense. Like all the backgrounds and stuff. I would imagine if you draw fan characters, you would be awesome at that stuff. You really would. Thank you, Sub Zero. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, man, I will definitely take a look at that Proshi. Yeah, hit me up on Discord. Actually, you know what? I like I've always said, I'm much better at responding on the messages and PMs in the Launchbox forums. So that is probably the best way to get in touch with me. Can I just have a static background, one image only in big box? Yes, absolutely. It's actually platform by platform, but you can always set it to the same one. What you do is you go into your Launchbox image priorities for fan art backgrounds or backgrounds and uncheck everything. You made the move over to Launchbox Big Box for your console HTPC project now. Gotcha. Very cool. Oh, you did already send it to me via Discord. Okay, cool, Proshi. Absolutely. Yeah, of course. Let us know what you need, man, and we will. I'll do my best to get you everything you need. Okay. So development. I have a little bit of a to-do list here. These are just some ideas that have come up recently. Also, Neil K's stuff is also on my plate. Um, because he had a bunch more ideas that still could be built. So that's in addition to what I've got from Neil K as far as requests. We have something that is going to map a plug into a key controller button for NJ Dave 71. Basically a sidebar control for Super Furry and Launchbox. So basically, you could instead of creating a new window, you would be able to throw something over here or replace what's over here. And I'm not quite sure how best to do that right now, but because I'm not sure I like the concept of getting rid of the game details. That's going to be tricky, but we'll figure that out. And then, of course, in audits, being able to right-click and have the plugin stuff show up there as well. And that's actually probably the easiest thing to do. And since he's working on submissions to the games database, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that first. Phil, you would like an event for when a game is launched and then another for when Launchbox Big Box gets focus after a game has been launched. Great idea, and that's super easy. So let's do that. Event for when a game is launched and when basically what you're saying is when we come back to Launchbox and Big Box after a game exits, ultimately, which is definitely, that's easy. Cool. All right. So let's start with these two. Not difficult at all. That should be pretty quick. So right-click audit in yeah, in the audit form, basically we're going to be mostly just copying code. The constructor for the audit form here, if I pull up the form itself, we have the context menu strip. All we need to do is add some things to this list. Easy as pie. So we go through and we initialize everything. And then at the end, what we're going to do is var plugins equals root dot game menu item plugins dot values dot where p dot show in LaunchBox, anything else, and p dot I think that'll do it. That's it. Wait, we do have to worry about sports multiple games and all that stuff. A lot of the stuff, though, I can literally just copy straight out of the main form code. So that's what I'm going to do. It's in the constructor for the main form. So we get what did I just do here? Okay. Yep. Okay, and then we need to figure out how many games are selected. So we got to redo this a little bit. And we add it to this list. And I'm not sure if we are going to need that here still or not. Sorry, Neil K. I don't even know what a submodule is for Git. I mean, I have an idea, but I've never used it. Hey, Ryan. Keltoy. What's going on, man? Proshi, thank you, man. Thank you. You know what? If you want to send, I mean, I'd love to see I'd love to see some of your work. I really would. But of course, you're free to create whatever, and I'm sure the community will appreciate it. LG Arcade Systems. You just entered. What did you enter? It's a reference to another Git. I see. Submodules and submodules. Sony Vegas issue. Oh, yeah. You know, it's interesting. You know who else uses Sony Vegas? Wood does. Although he uses Premiere more now, but he used Vegas almost exclusively for a long time. Oh, awesome. That's exciting. I love to hear that, Keltoy. Actually, that's really exciting because I love that video. And yeah, I agree. I would love to see it smoother. You have a mini HTTP server that runs and allows clients to connect to it. It returns the marquee of the game being played in LaunchBox Big Box. Currently, I'm doing this with a standalone EXE. Ooh, that's exciting. I like that. We're working on plugins right now, Arcade Systems. Okay. So when you click on the item, we just need to be able to get the selected games, and we have an example of that somewhere here, I'm sure. So if we click on this guy, it should tell us how to figure out what's selected. This guy right here. Selected rows, game IDs. So we have the count. Yeah, we can still do that. That's fine. It should be disabled in that case, in theory. So we do have to make sure that they're being disabled. Okay, we don't need anything like that. We get our list of game IDs. Sure. And then we have to turn that into a new, list of games, of iGames. What's the easiest, best way to do this without... I swear I've done this already. I just do it like this. Okay. That works. If root.datamanager.games.try get value, row, this guy right here, and I want to retype all that. Out game. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, then games.add game. Now, rather than do, I'm going to move this around a little bit, just in case. Okay. So that adds all our menu items. The only other thing to do is to disable and enable the items. And I do need that list after all. So I need this guy. And we'll go ahead and do that. And then when the selection changes, we need an event, cell content click, sort compare. How do I handle when the selection changes right now? I have to handle it somewhere. Maybe I do it on right click. I don't know. Maybe when the menu opens. Or maybe I don't. All right, well, we got to handle it. So, you can add a new event maybe. Selection changed. Let's catch up on comments here real quick. Hey, Charco. Know where you can find out how to install plugins in LaunchBox. It's literally just a matter of dropping the plugin files in the LaunchBox /plugins folder. The pain in the valley astrocade. Wow, that's amazing though that you've gone through that tremendous amount of effort. When adding an item using the iSystem menu item plugin, how do we control where the menu list appears? Where in the menu list, where the menu item appears in the list? Unfortunately, you don't right now. It's going to always appear at the bottom in the tools menu or in the big box stuff. Nice. Very cool, Neil. Thank you, Neil K. So he's got his source for the Steam Tools plugin up here. So all you plugin developers interested in how he's doing things, this is definitely a very good way to check on that. I'm not going to dive into it right now, but I'm sure there's a lot of good knowledge in there. Awesome, Keltoy. Dr. Bad Vibes. Thank you, Sub-Zero. Thank you so much. Have a good one, man. Yeah, pain in the Palliastrocade. I'm gonna have to use that one. That was pretty hilarious. Missed all the excitement and hoopla. Okay. So, selection changed. basically we need to figure out if how many things are selected. So this dot data grid view dot selected rows dot count. If equals 0. Actually, it would be better to do this in the loop. So for each var plugin menu item in this dot game menu item plugin items. We have to get the plugin itself. You know what though? I already have the code for this in the main form. Let's just steal it, copy it, if I can find it. Oh, we have it. Okay, have it separated out though. So what we're gonna do is, if nothing is selected, that's fine. Else if this dot data grid view dot selected rows dot count equals 1, we're gonna do another thing. Otherwise, item dot tag as get is valid for game. And the game, getting the game is a pain in the butt though. Obviously, if there's no rows selected, then we just have to disable them all. And in this case, item enabled equals plugin not equal to null, and plugin.get is valid for games, and plugin dot supports multiple games. Okay. But actually, we should do this after we confirm that plugin supports multiple games. Now all that's left to do is to make sure that or we have to actually get the game object. So we do that here by saying var game equals root.datamanager. No, we say if root.datamanager.games.try get value. The key is, you know what I need? I should just copy this from the constructor. And this just needs to be this dot data grid view dot, if I could type, grid view dot selected rows 0. Okay, and then lastly, we have the situation where multiple games are selected, and we need to copy that also out of the constructor to get the list of games, which is right here. Var games, new list of game for each Fruit, try get value, out, games.add. Bingo. What's the issue here? Oh, get is valid for games. We're going to say games dot cast of type igame dot to array. Bingo. Now in theory that'll do it for that. I should give that a quick test here. Where are we at now? In the comments. We do indeed have a ton of talented people in this community. I call that Wizard of Oz code. You don't want to look behind the curtain. Four DLLs and one EXE. Well, that's pretty neat though, PC Player. That's a pretty cool idea. Cool. All right. So we're built. I'm not sure what plugins I've got installed right now, but I'm going to check on that. I should have checked on that before starting it up here. So I have SRXZ's YouTube scraper right now installed, which I think, yeah, so that gets us some items to test with here, which is fine. Let's go ahead. This is an old version. By the way, he came out with a new version with some stuff fixed and such, so I should grab that at some point. We're just going to audit MS-DOS, that's fine. And we got an error in the constructor, so this is my new code. Well, let's make it easy on ourselves and just start this up and debug. No. Fine then, rebuild. Why are you in release mode? That doesn't make sense. It's pretty strange. There we go. Tools, audit MS-DOS. Okay. Oh, we never... Wow, that was kind of stupid. All right. So I gotta say this dot game menu item plugin items equals new list. Simple fix. Tools, audit. That's better. Now, in theory, I can right click and I get YouTube one-click download, YouTube scraper. YouTube one-click download, YouTube scraper. If I were to figure out how to unselect, then they're disabled. If I select multiple ones, I get the one-click download, but no scraper. Everything seems to be working fine. Oh, you know what though? Yeah, I did handle it when you click on it. I do need to test that. So if we, and then I might get an error. I'm not sure, but yes, it does seem to work. Everything seems to work just fine. So I think we're good to go with that one. One done. Oops. Okay. And we're gonna go back to my list here. Plug in, right click, audit. So that is for Underwood NC. He's working on the submissions to the games database, which is super exciting. And next thing is an event for when a game is launched and when you come back to LaunchBox. So that's fairly straightforward as well. Let's go ahead and jump on that. I'm going to go into my plugins stuff, and then we have this system event types. And we need to add public constant string. Do we want LaunchBox game launched, big box game launched, or just game launched? I'm thinking we should just do game launched or game launching. Game starting maybe. And game exited. I think that'll do it. I'm not sure there's anything else more involved than that. I wonder though if we should add stuff for focused as well while I'm in here. Startup videos are coming, guys. Yeah, the point of adding that was so that you could submit games to the games database from the audit window using the plugin that Scott is building. Hey, Paul. No worries, Camel. Didn't just add a state manager function to ask if we're in big box or not. Well, that's certainly something I could do. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that would make sense. Wondering if someone can make a simple plugin to add Plex into platform views and launch from it. Can you explain that, Keltoy? D, you got to be the one of the oldest at 52. I don't know. That is probably towards the top end of the age spectrum, the typical age spectrum. Yeah, I think. But I know we've. I mean, I've definitely met folks a lot older than you, though. Believe it or not. Not believe it or not. I mean, it only makes sense. Tried for about a half an hour to get your nickname to show on here. Well, there it is, Super Furry. It's right there now. Finally. Sorry, D, you're not. All right. Okay. So game starting and game exited. I'm thinking events for focused and and not focus too, maybe. But we can add these first. Event type is raised when a game is started. This event type is raised when a game is exited. Whatever, that's good enough. And then if we add focus stuff, we can. That'll be its own thing as well. Launch Plex directly from LaunchBox. Ah, I see. Yes, we can. It will extract zip files, but only if you tell it to. Valknut in the emulator settings. That's it, Neil K. You're too young. Okay, so let's get these functional. Game starting and game exited. We need to handle this for both launching games through additional applications and regular launching of games. So this is all going to be in unbroken.launchbox.data in the game class. So we have the play method. And in here, one thing that would be nice is if you knew which game was launching. But, you know. Cool, I got a message from Pure Luck about that bar top. Alright, so we already have this event handler game launching, which is interesting. I wonder if I can tie into that. So we use that currently for minimize on game launch, clear RAM on game launch, sure. And restore on game exit. This is for LaunchBox. Well, yeah, I might as well tie into that, right? That seems ideal. However, that's only going to handle it for... I wonder if that still works for additional applications too. I'm not sure. But anyways, let's... Well, the other thing is... That must have been something I... left in there unnecessarily. Insert a program into platforms. Yeah. We could create a plugin for that. How about allowing Windows Universal Apps to be used? Yeah, agreed. And that is already possible. There are ways to make it happen, but it's a pain in the butt because Microsoft sucks. They don't make that easy. It's really stupid how difficult that is to do. But yes, there are ways to do that with shortcuts. Basically, you create a shortcut and then link to the shortcut. But even still, that's a pain in the butt. Is there a chance you could add a hook that will raise an event when LaunchBox closes or after the plugin assembly releases. We actually have that. Although I'm not sure if it really truly fires after the plugin assembly releases. I'm not sure there's a good way to do that. But yes, we do have an event on close of LaunchBox. Valknut, hit us up on the forums and we can help you with that. Sometimes RetroArch is really finicky with some of that stuff. Yes, need to know what game is launching. I think what we're going to have to do is provide access to that some other way. Well, you would use selected game is what you would do. And that's already, because that's, I mean, that's already, you'll already have that information. All UWP apps run on Xbox One now. Interesting. I didn't know that either. Huh. All right. So the trick here is, what if like the launching the game doesn't work? That's my biggest thing. I don't know what we do there. Cool, I got a message from Proshi as well. I'm excited about that. I'm going to go into the current block, and I'm going to search for return. Yeah, see, we're doing all this stuff. Anytime we return, there's a lot of that. This method is a pretty complicated method. Return this.play emulator. Play scum VM. So we need to deal with this situation and this situation. This situation. What is this exactly? Oh, it's a URL. So we definitely need to deal with that situation too. This is an error, so we don't need to do anything there. Excuse me. The tricky thing here is, if the launch doesn't work, not to run it. But I think what I'm going to do is just do it anyways. That's what I'm doing up here. So whatever. Let's say for each var plugin in root dot system events plugins plugin dot on dot values. On event raised, system event types dot game starting. That should do it. Then the question is, what do we do about additional applications? So if somebody clicks on an additional application to run that, kind of need to handle it here as well. The thing is, tool auto run. I'm adding that in there because we need to know whether we already ran that, whether we already updated that stuff. So what I'm going to do is, if not auto run, then we're going to do the same thing. Okay, and we're going to have some build errors now. Hey, one credit. Got big box at 720 resolution. The letters don't fit. This will be fixed. I wasn't aware of that. What letters aren't fitting? Yeah, hit us up on the forums and I'll take a look at that, one credit. I don't know exactly what you mean though. Only apps that are paid for and explicitly coded for both the PC and the Xbox One versions of UWP. Yeah, I kind of figured that. I didn't figure everything would automatically be over there. I just don't think that's possible. There's like a better way to handle the other plugins without launching a bat and while loops. Interesting. Okay. So you want to build a plugin manager. Yeah, to be completely honest, Super Furry, that might be pretty tricky. Specifically because how LaunchBox, or I mean how .NET works with the DLLs and unloads DLLs, I'm not sure how all that stuff works. So I'm going to have to look into that. The other thing is, honestly, that might be one thing that we build ourselves. We really should build something like that ourselves so that everybody has access to it out the gate, because I do need an interface to show like what plugins are running and all that kind of stuff. So forgive me for that. Forgive me for stepping on your toes, but I think that's probably something we're going to build. Nice, Neil. Showing a game is unzipping. Yeah. Yeah, if Sony wants to build a plugin for that, then we could certainly make that happen. Will LaunchBox eventually wean people off of Rocket Launcher with fade and bezel features? Eventually, probably. Soon, no. We have too much more important stuff to work on than trying to replace Rocket Launcher, because Rocket Launcher does such a great job, and Rocket Launcher is a huge time sink. All those features are incredibly difficult to keep up with. So, I am 38 with the mental capacity of a 12-year-old. I doubt that, Keltoy, considering what I've seen you create. Really burns you out because you can't pass Steam URLs to your middleware. You know, honestly, Neil, it should look to check to make sure it shouldn't check to see if the file exists if it's a URL type thing. That's how it's working, and if it isn't working that way, then I can change the code to make it work that way. Night shifts. Yeah, I've done night shifts before. That's hard. That was really hard for me. 25 hours, dude. Go to sleep, man. Holy crap. Politely get off your lawn. That's hilarious. I think the LaunchBox user age range, the most common ages are between 20 and 40. Yep. It's a good 20-year range. And then it significantly drops off uh, older than that. Younger than that, I think we do get a lot of kids, but of course, most of the kids are just using the free software, I think. And I'm sure we get plenty of college age as well, 18 to 22. So it's probably actually closer to about 17, 18 on up than to 40 than 20. ETA on release for 7.10 at LaunchBox. I assume you're talking about PC Player. I'm at this point. I'm thinking a couple weeks, 2 weeks from now, something like that. But that's just a guess. Of course, yeah. When LaunchBox closes, it releases the DLLs, allowing to delete and add new ones. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. 22. You look 16. Sure. Zero X. Would running my games media from an external hard disk drive be fine performance-wise? I'm debating buying a brand new 500 gigabyte SSD for media and LaunchBox. External is, yes, it does. It works perfectly fine to run it off an external. If you want the best performance, you should put LaunchBox and the media on your internal drive. You're on an internal SSD, ideally, and then put your games on the external, and you'll get the best performance that way. Obviously, as you're navigating through the interface, images and videos and all the various types of media are what get heavy use. 18, ageless. That is the best answer, right there. 45. Guess your vote doesn't count anymore. 35. That's a pretty common age for us, though, Dave. I'm 33 too. Yeah, aren't we special? Randomly telling people how old we all are. That's a good point, Neil K. External drives aren't designed to run 24/7. Cool, Zero. All right. So we're caught up here. I need to fix these 3 compile errors. In this case, it is being auto-run. This is in the game class process exited. Yep, this is also being auto-run. And also I can clear this up. And then finally, this is in the main form. This is where it is not being auto-run. Well, then what do we do about, what is run in Big Box when you try and do it? Where is that? Where's that launched from. That's interesting. Oh, maybe it just didn't get that far. Yeah, that's what it is. There's gonna be more compile errors. That has to be it. Yep, there it is. And it is not being auto run. So, in theory, we've handled that event. We need to handle the exit. Game exited event. Game exited. This process exited event here. This is what happens when the game exits. The process exits that we started. So process exited. I need to check to make sure that's the only place that this happens. I think in additional application, we have it here as well. So I got to handle that too again. But right here, we're going to say for each var plugin in root dot system events plugins dot values plugin dot on event raised system event types dot game exited. We'll go ahead and copy that because we're going to need that elsewhere as well. And thinking through the additional application thing. Right now, the thing is we can't call this every single time because it could be one of those auto start, auto run things again. Also, I'm having trouble focusing right now. So anyways, let me catch up on some comments in the meantime. GeoCities. That's amazing. Oh man, I remember creating my first website on GeoCities like as a kid, so long ago. It's pretty nuts. Having plugins load on the game info panel would be lovely, would open up a whole load of new stuff. You're right, it would. It would, absolutely. Yeah, that's on my list actually, Super Furry. So yeah, no huge. That would be okay. The thing is, there's a lot of issues to dive into there. Maybe we can do that though. I need to figure out like the best way to do it. Um, to tie into the interface, I'm almost wondering if if we provided you with access to the main form, then you could hack in whatever you wanted to the form, if that makes sense. That I'm feeling like it might be a better solution, but I'm not sure. Mind you of the PM with the plugin event versus the stock view event order stuff. Yeah. Uh, yeah, we'll get there, Neil. Thank you. Hopefully, I can take a look at that in a second. That's going to be like a mind boggling thing for me, I have a feeling. Ooh, Keltoy, that sounds fun. Yes, I like that thought about jazzing up the modern mini theme. That's a beautiful theme. Did the Moby Games deal fall through? I haven't heard from them. Like every other time, it just I'm waiting to hear back from them. Last time they did get back to me 3 months later, so or I don't know. I don't know if it was really 3 months, but it took a while. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's the cache. There's a lot of media involved. That's the trick. Is my favorite Mario character Yoshi? Isn't Yoshi everybody's favorite Mario character? I think it might just be Yoshi, yes. Nice. You're pretty pro at drawing Yoshi, and your name is Proshi. Take it easy, Phil. Camelspit.com since you were 12. Wow, that is cool. I have had jasoncar.com since I was I don't know about 12, high school. And I actually lost it for a long time and finally managed to get it back. But it never left me. I just lost access to it. So I had to like submit a whole bunch of documentation to I don't even remember how I did it, but I did end up getting it. It was basically like abandoned. It was mine. I paid for it, but it was abandoned and I couldn't get at it. So Angel Fire. Wow. The ageless stream. Access to the main forum. That's how I managed to inject and control top level big box. Yeah, and it's not like you can probably do that already, but we need to make an official way to do that. In other words, use the interfaces and use the actual proper DLL. Use the plugin DLL instead of hooking into anything else. Yoshi is everyone's favorite. Some people might like dry bones. Samus, sure. Samus isn't really a Mario character, though. Samus is just a Nintendo character. Luigi. He is the better brother. All right. Okay. So process exited. Focus. Focus. Process exited. On additional applications. Right now I'm using this this.stop LED blinky, and I think what I'm doing there is we're setting it to true only in cases where we started LED blinky. Which might actually be perfect for determining when a game is actually launched. Or when it was actually launched. I'm not sure. But there's only one location where we do this, so I don't understand that. The thing is, we're calling game.play emulator over here, which in theory, when we do that, it's gonna handle the other one for. So yeah, I think what we can do is we can just put it in here. I hope, anyways. And I think that will solve it. That's my hope. So we'll probably leave it as that for now. Focus harder. Did you check out my Wiki Peek plugin? I saw that it was there, Super Furry, but I haven't checked it out yet. No, I took a break this weekend. I didn't do a whole lot over the weekend, so I was just catching up early this morning. Bowser. Hey, Vissy. So we've got this added. So what we could do, I kind of wanted to add functions or events for when LaunchBox and Big Box get focused and unfocused. Although I'm not sure how important that is right now. Maybe I should stick with what you guys want, though. Go back to the immediate. That should be done. And Super Furry, the sidebar stuff, maybe, yeah, I don't know. We would have to provide access to the main form. I'm thinking instead of like allowing you to replace the sidebar control, we would somehow figure out how to get you access to the main form. And if we were going to do that, we would do it via plugin helper probably. And we would add a way to access the main form object. And then you could tie into that and do whatever you wanted, which is feasible. That's not that difficult to do. So let's go ahead and do that. And then also, also we would need to get, the thing is with Big Box it's different because you don't need the main form. You should be able to do it all with themes. So what do you think, Super Furry? What if I got you access to the main form? Because then what you could do, you could add really whatever stuff you wanted to the form. Proshi, by the way, as soon as I heard a Bible plugin from one of the videos, I went searching right away because I have family members that would love to have that. Yeah, definitely. For real. Me too. Tim Hortons. You and Wood are always talking about Tim Hortons. You must be in Canada, 00. Speech capability available like hyperspeech. No, and actually the funny thing is, it was on the poll and it was the very bottom voted item. The issue you ran into adding items to the main form of Big Box was that the Big Box plugin itself didn't get registered when it created that high up in the WPF tree. Sure. And that does make some sense. Yeah. Ultimately, the way that all works is when a view is created, Neil, right now, when a view is created in Big Box, after the view is created, there's an event that is basically view on created, something like that. And I go through and I find all controls of that type, and I call them. Awesome. Interesting, it did okay with elements being programmatically added to the UI later down the road. Sure. I don't know. I don't. That's going to be weird to follow. But let's go ahead and add the main form to this. Basically what I'm going to do, I'm not going to provide access to the main form class because I don't really want people to have access to the methods and all that stuff inside the actual main form object. But what I can do is add a public static form, just a generic system.windows.form. No. Okay, so apparently I need a reference to that. I can't believe I didn't have a reference to that. So we need system.windows.forms. So public static form, LaunchBox main form, get and set, and we're going to say gets or sets the LaunchBox main form in order to tweak the main LaunchBox interface. Will be null when inside or when in big box. This property is automatically set by LaunchBox and should not be set by any plugins. Okay, LaunchBox main form. Just a generic form, and having a generic form will basically let you add whatever controls you want anywhere in the mix. And it'll be a little bit tricky. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. And you will be able to break stuff, no question. But I think that will allow you to control the control tree and all that stuff enough to get you what you need. That certainly is going to give you a ton of flexibility. So let me make that actually work. The only thing we really need to do is in the main form class, we say root.mainForm equals this, and plugin helper dot LaunchBox main form equals this as well. That's nice and easy. That's all we got to do. You're living in a shed. Wow, dude. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh man, I haven't looked at the exceptions recently. The thing is, the way I've been dealing with the exceptions though is if they don't happen 5 times, I completely ignore them. I don't and I kind of have to because we get exceptions coming in from theme developers already, and you can create exceptions really easily just by messing up themes, you know. So that is a good point. But yeah, unless it happens 5 times from several different people, I just completely ignore it. I don't try and fix it until it's coming in from multiple people, because then, you know, I know it's a legitimate thing. Okay. Go ahead and fix that. What's the problem now? So that is done too, which is good. You guys are funny. Yeah, I fixed. We were having a lot of that with the previous beta, but I was hoping I fixed all that. Camel, we definitely had bugs happening on startup because of the performance improvements I did earlier on. So I hope all that stuff is fixed now with the latest beta, but let me know if not, and I'll definitely look at it. So, the next thing to look at, let's take a look at the immediate list here. I think I've got that covered for Super Furry just by allowing him to tweak the main form. Map a plugin to a key controller button. I'm going to leave that on the list, but that is actually going to be fairly extensive. So I think I don't want to tackle that here in this stream. Maybe we'll tackle that on Wednesday. Let me check the forums and we can go back to Neil's stuff maybe. So Neil. So this is your message about injecting WPF element into the UI. Didn't work for elements at the root, but did for elements within subviews. So the reason for that is because, so basically I have, let's go to my big box code here. I have view models, and I have a class, not theme views, view models. I have a class called child view model base. If I can find it. Actually, it's in this project. Child view model base. And basically, this is what is aware of the plugins. Okay? And so anything that is, any object that is a child view model base is going to support searching for plugins inside of it. But anything that isn't is not. So that's probably what you're seeing there, Neil. Does that make sense? If we take a look at take it easy, Super Furry. Thank you. I don't suppose you can manually register an instance with the plugin collection. Not currently. No. Although, I mean, that would make sense. There's no reason why we couldn't add a method to do that. If that's going to solve it, sure, why not? Although, well, no, the tricky thing there is, yeah. It's all about like what view is active. That's why that's tricky. So no, there wouldn't be an easy way for me to do that. I don't think, because we have to be able to control what view is active and you know when it's. I don't know. Yeah, it's I don't know. Okay, I think we'll run with that, Neil, if that's all right. Unless you know, yeah, let me know if it's a major issue or anything. And then the other one that you sent, Neil, issue with ordering of plugin versus embedded on selection changed. We wanted to move. Um, Basically, we wanted to move the plugin call until after everything else was done, which isn't that hard. But I do have a number of things to touch for that. So if we go into, we're in our view models here. Actually, probably the best place to do this would just be to follow references in child view model base. Basically, we need to move all instances on plugin selection change to later on in the process. And yeah, right now, this is what happens when a new selection is done, and it happens pretty much at the beginning of the new selection. So ultimately, not everything else has updated yet at that point. Is there a way to favorite a game in Big Box without showing the game details screen? Mapping a button, a custom to favorites. I don't think this is really a plugin. No, it's not. But there isn't currently a good. Maybe there is. If it's not in the shortcuts, if it's not in the button shortcuts or the keyboard shortcuts, then it's not available. I can't remember exactly. Hey Mega, unfortunately, I mean I've talked about that a lot recently. Unfortunately, Mac is the absolute last thing we would implement LaunchBox for. Um, it's just not a big enough audience, unfortunately. So, uh, I really would love to do Linux, although I'm struggling to do that, um, even because of just the business perspective doesn't make it that feasible of a thing to do. Android is the highest priority for the next platform to do, but even that is pretty low on the priority list. So Mac is just literally right there at the bottom. So frankly, unfortunately, I'm telling you to lose hope because I don't think that's going to happen. It's not going to be a focus. There's just not a big enough audience. I despise Apple's development tools. I think they've done a really poor job for developers, and so for that reason, I don't think that's likely to ever happen. I'm sorry. Neil, as this specific function hook doesn't have a return value, it can go anywhere, where the other function hooks have to go at the start of their sections due to their handled return value. Sure. You're using a Mac to look at the stream. That's funny. Not enough of a market for the effort, pretty much. Windows, MS DOS, Android. Exactly, Neil K. Exactly. You got it. You got it right there. I forgot about that DOS port. I still use that though. I use that for my own DOS machine. I used to own a Mac as well. I've owned a couple Macs over the years, and they put out some awesome products. But I don't really. yeah, I'm not a big, and I don't feel like ever doing it again either. Yep. Sure, a Hackintosh. Yeah, I've done the whole Hackintosh thing too. Okay, gibberish, Jason. Sure. That's funny. It's a Mac running on a Dell. LaunchBox on cassette. All right. Uh, so here's the thing, Neil. Is it gonna work if I just move on plugin selection changed farther down in the process? That's my question. Is it that easy? Because what we do, well, this is probably a bad example, but if I load up, like, for example, the um, cover flow with details, okay? Right now we call on plugin selection changed before we update the image, before we set the game details view model, before we get the video, we set the video, before we initialize, the video views, before we set the new background view model, before we do the music. I mean, where should I do it, and is that really going to solve your problem? Just moving it down will work. Okay. Can someone just write an Android plugin? That would be awesome, but unfortunately, no, it's not going to be that easy. The issue is that the subview with the game details is being created with my plugin and thus has missed its chance to see the game change. Okay, so the subview for the game, it needs to happen after the game details subview is created. That's what I'm going for. Okay. That I can do. So we're going to move this. After we create the game details view model. Right here. That makes sense. I don't want to wait too long because I would rather the plugin stuff happen before all the media gets loaded and changed, if that makes sense. But it makes sense that the game details view model would need to be accessible. So that should, in theory, do it. Let's go back and follow up with the rest of the references and figure that stuff out. This is the filters view model base. And we're building the list view models for the thumbnails, image path, details view model. So we need to put it, yeah. Let's go ahead and move it down here for this one. Okay. And number 2, platform filters view model base. This is happening right there. Move that guy down where we there's the details view model. We're building our boxes. The boxes take a while. Let's go ahead and do it right here. Okay. And then we've got cover flow games view model. There is no details really for the cover flow games view model. So what else are we doing here? We are getting a clear logo. I'm going to leave that right there for the cover flow one, I think. And we have games view model base and wheel games view model. This one we're building all the menu items for the game. What about details? So we set why am I getting a message from Brad? Interesting. I don't know. He must have been included in the message, I guess. Game details view model. So we set it there. So in theory, we could do it like right here. Catch up on comments here. Make sure Neil isn't screaming at me. Good, Neil. If it was a onesie, you'd be down. Good to hear, Neil. All right. So we have games view model bases. One more. Wheel games view model. So this guy needs to go after the details as well. That must be, yeah, it's pretty high up there. And I want to do it before the thread.sleep here. So let's try it there. All right. Hopefully that'll do it for you, Neil. And also, guys, hopefully I can get a beta out for you today. There's not anything major I'm going to be waiting on. So my plan for the rest of the day is going to be just to keep adding mostly minor things that people need for the plugins, and hopefully also add some more documentation. And I'll have a beta out for you guys hopefully before the end of the day today. So that's good. And I need to go through like the beta testing forum and all that stuff and check to make sure there's no bugs that I need to fix. But hopefully that will get Neil what he needs. What else do we have? Took 2 Snuggies and stapled them together for a 6 Snuggie robe. Oh my goodness. Hey, Matic. Welcome, man. We are working on plugins still. We're still going through the plugin stuff. Adding a bunch of new hooks for people to be able to build some neat stuff. I want to go back to my messages. I don't know, guys. I need to go back in and read a million forum posts and figure out where everything is. But yeah, believe it or not, I think we've done a good job getting people what they need, um, what they've asked for in this stream. So that's good. I didn't expect to like basically cover everything, and I know in some ways we've taken the easy way out, but like with the forum stuff. But that'll be more flexible anyways. When are you planning on releasing a stable release? Couple weeks is what I'm currently envisioning. At least that's what I'm hoping. Yeah, there's been some amazing plugins so far. It's pretty incredible. We want our developers to be well rested. Yeah. Oh yeah, the fix that you found for DPI scaling, Matic. What? Yeah, can you? Well, yeah, link us to that, or link Keltoid Gale to that because we need to test that out. Viewbox, that's what it is. Sure, that makes sense. Neil K. Been there. So I wonder if maybe we can test some plugins. That would be a good thing to do right now. Just to play around a little bit before we end the stream. Since I'm feeling particularly distracted right now. Yep, that was the wrong thing to click. So if we go to downloads, there's Dave's sign out plugin. Let's click here. We got to get more people putting their actual plugins up in the download section. There's WikiPeak. That's a little bit different from Slip System there, which is really neat. It uses the LaunchBox data. X LaunchBox, which we've already tested, but I don't have Flash games, and so that's kind of tricky. And then Gorilla's custom big box controls. There's a lot more out here, but a lot of them are just buried in forums. So we really need to get people putting their stuff up on the in the actual download section. So sign out. Instead of shutting down or restarting Windows when exiting Big Box, perhaps you just want to sign out, log off. Handy plugin gets that job done. Great if you have a profile just for launching Big Box. Plugins folder, the main root menu in Big Box, tools menu in LaunchBox. Bingo. Not a lot to play with there, and obviously I can't sign out while I'm streaming to you guys, but we'll test it out. YouTube Scraper. This is the awesome YouTube Scraper from SRXZ, and he has fixed some bugs as well. Bulk download supported. Yeah, this would be my request as well, of course, if SRXZ watches this, to have it present you with a list of videos that you could preview. That would be amazing. But we'll try this latest version of his plugin here. In the Movie Scraper plugin, it scrapes the images and details now? Wow. Oh wait, this is Slip System. This is a new one. So inspired by Super Furry's movie launcher plugin. Okay. Wow, this is incredible. Oh man, people are gonna love that so much. Slip System, that is. I don't remember if you're still on the. I don't know if you're still on this stream, but man, people are gonna love that. That's really really cool. And then we have WikiPeak from Super Furry. Let's download that as well. So we'll test all 4 of those. That's awesome. Okay. I'm going to grab these plugin files here and put them in a new folder, and then I'm going to extract each of these. And in theory, we should be able to just move that stuff to the LaunchBox folder. Maybe we should go one thing at a time, though. Let's start with the sign out plugin. Put it in here. We're going to come up with a new version of the YouTube scraper. So let's check that out first. Okay, what do we got here? Ah, I'm getting the network location bug now. See, this I had never seen before. Why is that? And why do some plugins work but not others? I don't understand that. This file came from another computer, might be blocked to help protect this computer. Is this the issue? Oh, you know what? I bet that is. So if you download the DLL directly, I bet Windows does that, but if you extract it from a zip file, I bet it doesn't. That has to be it. I'm almost positive that's what's going on here. That has to be it. Interesting. I had never seen that before. Yeah. Okay, well now that we know exactly what's going on there, that's pretty important to note. Now that we figured that one out, that's really huge. So plugin developers, create your when you upload your stuff, upload it in a zip file, not just the direct DLL, because and I'm gonna I'll have to go change the forums instructions to make sure people know that, because when you extract it from a zip file, Windows won't whine and complain about it. When you just download a DLL directly from the internet, apparently Windows has issues with it. So good to know. And there's our sign out, which I cannot click because it's going to end the stream and everything else. But yeah, neat. It's good to see that working. I'm glad we figured that out. That's huge. Also, I can put in I can handle that error. That's okay, Neil K. We'll have plenty of time. So you just keep plugging away at your stuff, and whenever you're ready, we'll give it a test. I know what you mean pretty well, Neil K. Considering my position over here. It might do it to zips extracted with the native Windows unzipper too. Sure, and there's not a whole lot we can do about that other than to give the user a friendly error message. So that's what I really need to do. We need to do a friendly error message for blocked plugins. Nice, thank you, Dave. That's awesome. Fun fact, it's a 0-1 alternate data stream in the NTFS file system that sets that block on block. The other option is to have your program unpack the zips, but there's probably no need for that. Good point, though. We need it if we did have a plugin installer of some sort, then that would get past that in theory. You would hope. So actually, that's probably a pretty good idea. Come to think of it, because that's kind of annoying. That's kind of a nightmare. And it would not be difficult to install a plugin. I mean, I'd be able to get that done in an hour or two. Create a plugin installer. But really, what I should be doing is adding a plugin manager. So ultimately, that's what I should be focusing on. You would basically you create a plugin manager window in LaunchBox, and you would download a plugin and install it that way, and you'd be able to, yeah, with descriptions and everything. That's probably the best way to go. I'd love to have it pull from the website directly, but if we did something like that, we would definitely need some more controls in place for security and all that kind of stuff. I'd like that, although that's probably not going to be in there for the next official version. Ah, I see. But we got to figure out a way to get past that, Neil K. Honestly, I don't. The exe file is no big deal, but we should. The really it needs to be able to work wherever the exe file is. So in other words, you got to be able to put it all in the plugins folder. So there's got to be a way for you to be able to find the exe no matter where it's located, so you can run it from wherever the DLL is. Yeah, Camel, that's kind of what I'm thinking. All right, so well, let's check out something else. We're gonna go back to Movie Scraper. I'm pretty excited about. This is the Movie Scraper from Slipstream, I think, right? Slip System, sorry, Slip System, yeah. Fan Art TV, Movie Scraper, and then, yeah, the JSON, of course. Newton Soft. Cool. Let's see what happens. Of course, I'm going to need to add a movie in order to make it work, but probably just make something up. So if I, so we have Scrape Movie. If I rename this to Forrest Gump, and Scrape. Okay, so it did something. We got We got an image there for the fan art. Do I need to refresh the image? Yep. Look at that. So a little bit could go into the interface to make it more user-friendly, but that's awesome. That is really going to be huge for people. That is going to be absolutely downright huge for certain people that use movies in their collection. That's really friggin' awesome, and that actually makes me want to add a movie collection in here too. That is so sweet. Bubba Gump. Amazing. Ah, man, guys, I'm excited. That's so cool. All right. So, we'll leave that in there since I know what it does. I can leave the sign out thing in there too. I wanted to see that in big box actually. Let's go of course I think I deleted it like an idiot. But we'll check this other stuff out here. YouTube Scraper, the new version of SRXZ's YouTube Scraper, and WikiPeak. I think this is going to be simple enough. I can just do both of them at the same time here. All right, so it's a great movie, WikiPeak. Let's go to an actual game before we test that one out. Atari 2600. Let's check out Adventure. Now that might be pretty difficult to get right. We'll do Air Sea Battle. WikiPeak. Look at that. That is frickin' boss. Okay, so could not find a link for Asteroid Fire. Let's give it a challenge here. Basketball on Atari 2600. It works. Let's go to GoldenEye. Oh man, that is going to be so useful. It really is, especially when people are like entering things into the games database. Think about it. That's huge. Just magically finding the link. That's awesome. Sure. Yeah. Something obscure. What's like stupid obscure? Um, I don't know. The SG-1000 maybe? I have some obscure stuff for DOS. But of course, wow. You don't know um, what's even available on Wikipedia. All right, it is about time for me to head out, guys. But last thing was the one-click download, the scraper for YouTube. Let's try we want to just check to. I mean, we've already done this. I just wanted to check video for select game already exists. Okay, so he's fixed that error. But yeah, good stream, guys. Thank you guys so much, especially the plugin developers. Love you guys, and I will catch up you guys on Wednesday again at 9:30 a.m. PST. Let me catch up on comments here real quick. No problem, Neil. Take it easy, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Have a good couple days, and I'll see you on Wednesday.